Hi, I'm
Hi.
Chinmay from Sakal. I want to ask you, you have done Nagada in the competition. So, what you make to do this song, except Kuchipudi, you are trained in it. So,
Dances of the World is my favorite segment of the Miss World finale because every country gets to show, every continent this year got to show their culture. And मुझे लगा कि मैं इंडिया का celebration दिखाना चाहती हूँ. And everyone connects India to Bollywood, so that is why I chose Nagara. And it was a very fun song. That was the first time that I learned a little bit of Garba. So I'm happy that I could do that. And every time in rehearsals, the song used to come up. All the girls used to stand up and dance to it. So I'm happy that in that way I could bring India in front of the world.
Hi Manushi, Pooja
Hi.
here from
Hi,
News
Pooja.
Nation channel. How was it to coming back to India? How was it basically watching your fans waiting for you on airport?
I think it was very overwhelming. I was counting every minute on my flight back to India. And I even troubled poor Steve telling him 2 minutes more, 1 minute more to land. So I couldn't sleep in the last 1 hour when we had to land. And it was so overwhelming that even though we landed at midnight, people had come to receive me. And I think I felt so loved. And that's when I felt that, it's a great feeling when you bring pride back to your country.
I have a question for Mrs. Julia. Uh, how has it been to be with Indians representing right from Rita Faria to Manushi Chillar, all the 6 ladies who have won Miss World?
Well, if I know they all have very nice families, but I almost feel like a second mother because when we're traveling, it's really important that there are times when they need just to be at home. And this is really important to make sure that during Manushi's year, whilst there's a lot of things to do, there's also a great need to rest down and to stop and just to be at home. So I feel that we know each other very specially on a basis of trust, love and protection. So whatever she does, whatever she says, is a special meaning for me, that it's secret, it's special, and she will be treated like the only thing I can say as my family, because when we're on the road and we're doing different things and seeing a lot of sadness and a lot of trauma in many kids and many women and men, I think we share sadness, but we also have all each other to share it with. So it is important to be like a family. And although we're professionals in our job, there has to be a time when you can come home, shut the door, and put your feet up and all be together and feel there's home away from home. But she will get time to be home with her family, and I really love her family. They're very supportive. They're strong and wonderful people. And I know that between us all, she'll come out unscathed, but hopefully with a lot more understanding of international needs as well as India's needs. And I know India's going to not just be proud of her now, but even more proud when you see the work she is able to do around the world.
Hi, my question is for Ms. Julia. This is Ritu Raj from Republic TV. You've been part of the organization for so many decades now. How do you feel has the setup evolved? Perhaps a lot of women who win it now are not necessarily from modeling background, like in her case, she has an academic background. So how have you seen this evolve over the last few decades that you've been part of?
Well, it started in '51, and it was an exercise after the war in Britain. And then it was just a bit of fun as a public relations exercise. It did move from there. When I came in, whilst I love the idea of people being free to do things, I did feel that a lot of the young women that we worked with were not necessarily comfortable walking on a stage in a bikini. And there was nothing wrong with it. I don't condemn it. I just think that if you're going to get the best of an individual, you need to make them feel comfortable. So we felt that when I took over, we didn't need to parade on stage in bikinis, but we did need to have razzmatazz and lots of fun. And if we wanted to do beachwear, we did it on the beach. Working with so many nations, in fact, we work with 140, and they're still growing and coming together. I think it's quite important to know that we must also realize that working around the world, we need to give everybody consideration. And there are some things in some countries that are unacceptable. So we tried across the board to be fair and to make everyone feel comfortable, and therefore I think they show who they are as a person when they're walking on stage. They have confidence, and our job is to build that confidence and enhance it.
Good evening. This is Sumit Sharma from India TV. Manushi, praises for your efforts, and thank you for making us proud.
Thank you, Sumit.
And please allow me to ask Ms. Julia first. Ms. Julia, why it took 17 years for India to win that pageant? What is your idea on this?
Well, you see, around the world there are many beautiful women, and so it happens that the juries choose different people. It just so happens that India has to know that 17 years is a long time, but many people have waited 61 years. You have to take it as it comes, and when you're ready for it, it happens, and you're surely ready for it now because you have a most beautiful winner. It is very much a jury that makes the decisions. I'm purely chairman of the judges, but they chose well this time. I haven't got an answer for the last 17 years. I can only say we have been returning in that 17 years, and we have been working with your wonderful Muktagan school in Mumbai that now have seven schools here for mothers who live in the slum areas to bring their children to school, and both study at the same time, so mothers can learn to read and write and get jobs, and the children learn to go to school and become engineers, doctors and lawyers, whatever they want to be. So I think that whilst we haven't always won in those 17 years Miss World, we have won a lot together with your wonderful people here that have been organising Miss India. They've done such a good job now involving the projects, and I know that everyone has been behind us to support Muktagan schools, and of course in many other parts, Hyderabad, Children and Police. We've always done things together, and with the Hearts Hospital. So although it's 17 years gone by, we haven't left you. We still love you, and now we're very proud to bring this winner back.
Thank you. Manushi appears to be very sweet, no?
Sorry?
You appears to be very sweet.
Who does?
You.
Me?
Yeah.
Yes,
Well,
she is very sweet.
I have never been called very sweet before, but it's a lovely thing you say. I hope I don't disappoint you.
Manushi, you have met different people during this pageant. What is the perception they carry for India?
Well, during the pageant, the first week, they all thought I was a Bollywood actress. But jokes apart, I think they're all very similar, and they really don't. We don't have preconceived notions about each other. When we go over there, we go with fresh minds, and there's a lot of curiosity to know each other, to know about each other's countries. And because I also went with a suitcase full of Indian food, thanks to having an Indian mother and being a vegetarian in China. I think that's how I bonded with all the other contestants, because everyone would come for food to my room. So I think that is one thing that I gave away about India. And the best part about the pageant is that even though we don't understand each other's languages, but we were there together, we were helping each other. And you understand that irrespective of all the superficial differences you have, you're all pretty much the same.
Okay, Manushi. Okay, I was asking you, what is the perception they carry for India?
What is the perception they carry for India?
Yeah.
There are no preconceived notions at all. Everyone comes with a fresh mind, and I think you just look at the individual and they just want to know you. They don't have any preconceived notions.